Good morning, this is Graham Smith representing We Love Arabian Horses, and as it turns out I'm here in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia with Helen Hennekens van Nes, who's judging at the Prince Abdulaziz title show. So welcome, Helen. Thank you for taking the time to speak to We Love Arabian Horses. One of the things that we always ask is what brought you to the Arabian horse? What was the passion that started this journey for you in Arabian horses?
Good morning, Graham. My father started to breed Welsh Section A ponies when I was a little child, and I have a lot of photographs of myself on a Welsh Section A pony. And once I grew out of these ponies, the next step for my father was to buy a purebred Arabian horse, which at that time, the early 70s, was not so easy to find in the Netherlands. So he searched and found this tiny little Polish crabbit mare, which was only 14 two hands. And this is how I started to get involved in Arabian horses. I did a lot of pony clubbing with her, and my father always wanted to breed a foal, and I always got into a fight with him because I wanted to ride. And then in the end we started to search for another Arabian, and so the stud was founded a long time ago, in 1978. Flaxman Arabian started with some half Egyptian bred fillies he bought from Stoeterij Arabica. At that time was very well known in Belgium, and he had a passion also for Russian Arabians, and later on he switched to straight Egyptians. He bought the first foal from Imperial Egyptian stud in America. And yeah, I grew up with Arabians, so it was a passion for life for me, actually.
Fantastic, Helen. One of the other things that you and I have been talking about, and we've talked about it for a number of years, I guess, is also your passion and the things you're trying to do to promote the Arabian as a utility horse, in riding. So I know at your stud and elsewhere in around Breck that you promote riding classes. You're passionate about that?
Very much so. All our stallions are ridden, all our geldings are ridden, and we have a group of girls that we give some lessons to. Also, a lot of the workers at our farm can ride our stallions, and I'm actually a riding instructor by profession. And and together with my best friend Juan Murillo, we give lessons in Western riding, in English riding, in trail in hand. So we do a lot to promote that from our side.
Yeah. And again, we were just talking about the importance of keeping your horses happy, giving them something else to do in life, not to be in a stable all their life, but to give them that interest of being a saddle horse and ridden. I've seen a bit of a change in Europe, that there seems to be a lot more emphasis now on trying to ride your horses and trying to find more opportunities to promote ridden Arabians in Europe.
Absolutely. That's why I got involved with Juan Murillo to together form a team to try to help girls which just started with the gelding, and try to give them more fun and more opportunities to learn about it, and also to go to the shows with them together and to help them.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Helen, look, I'll take advantage of the fact that you are an A-listed Akaho judge. You've judged all around the world. You have a very high reputation. You're well liked. I guess for some of our younger judges and younger listeners, can you talk about some of the attributes or some of the things that you think a judge should have just starting out on their journey? What are the qualities that you think that a young judge should have?
Well, I think what is most important is if you are really passionate about it. Do you really like to know a lot about the Arabian horse? You need to study a very good basis, which is you need to know a horse inside and out. So where it goes wrong is that a lot of newcomers don't know the skeleton of the horse. They don't know the muscle system. They don't know the nerve system. That is something you really have to study. You really have to know. And then also the way a horse moves in walk, in trot, in canter. Which is a whole way, to go before you can really understand a horse, how it moves, how it behaves, how it acts, which is very important. Yeah.
So I guess, there is a lot of pressure on judges once they step into the ring. for our younger amateur judges, do you think there's a place to provide more training or change the way we do things in Europe or around the world? I'm just trying to think how we can promote more people into the industry and through this avenue of judging. You know, do we do enough for these new judges? Can we improve on our training?
I think maybe that is a good point, Graham. I think maybe ACAO should also do something more, because they leave it now up to the national organizations, the national studbooks, to organize courses. But once you've passed these courses, you're then thrown in the deep and find your own way. And that is not always good. I think national organizations should also try to follow their young judges and try to help them grow in their new career.
Yeah, I think it's an issue for around the world, really. But yeah, thanks for those points. Now, you also commercially operate your horse stud. What do we need to do, or what are some of the things you think we need to do around the world to try and promote new people into the industry? What are the things that we can do to get children? What are the things that we can do to get children, younger adults, to come into the industry?
I think what we need to do is show that an Arabian is so versatile. We can do anything with an Arabian, whether it's a little kid or whether it's an adult person. You know, you can use it for any kind of sport, whether it's endurance or whether it's Western riding, or even if you want to do lead rein with a little child. An Arabian can do it all. And I think we need to go to big events such as a big jumping tournament and make a stand and say, oh, but there's also an Arabian that can jump, but on their own level, of course, and go to big events and promote the breed. That would be a very good idea.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Helen. Now, Helen, again, I guess on the judging tact, and I just wanted to talk about what you see as a judge universally. As I said, you judge in many countries around the world. What are some of the things that you're seeing that are changing with the Arabian horse? What worries you, or what likes you about what this internationalisation is bringing to the Arabian horse?
Okay, what worries me the most at the moment is what I see around the world, not only in the Middle East and not only in Europe, but also everywhere else I've been to go and judge, is we're losing big eyes, where unfortunately there's some bloodlines which give a little bit of a flat eye, and we lose the big sockets. And I think it's very important we bring back that classic look, which is not for me the extreme seahorse head, but is a very pretty, can be a little bit a straighter face. I'm not saying not this face, but a very nice looking face, but not so extreme. And people nowadays only want extreme, but then we also have to give in on some other points, which is a bit of a pity, because we're losing the all-round good horse. And what we need to do is try to combine, all the good qualities in one horse. And that I know as a breeder is not easy to do, but we all have to give it a try.
Yeah, no, good points, Helen. So, Helen, I guess just going forward, where do you see the industry in 10 or 20 years? Do you think it's going to be globalised, or do you think we need to bring it back a level and sort of focus on our homegrown products? And sorry, what I'm trying to say is that previous years, 20, 30 years ago, we had distinct strains. We had our Russian horses, our Spanish horses. We seem to be losing that. What do you think is going to happen in 20 or 30 years' time? Will it be a globalised, internationalised Arabian horse?
I think you have a point there, but I still think that there are a few breeders left which are still, like myself, I'm still breeding straight Egyptians because it's the heritage of my father. So I'm still going to continue doing that. And I know a lot of my friends, I have a friend that breeds pure Spanish horses, I have a friend that breeds straight Russian horses. And I think that in time there still will be a few people that would like to keep these bloodlines, but then for maybe not for enhanced shows, but for other purposes, because like pure Spanish horses are fantastic to ride, and the Russians are fantastic also to race with, and there will be other possibilities also to keep them going. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Helen. Well, look, thank you for your thoughts on that. Look, that's been good. We've covered a bit of ground. Are there any final comments that you'd like to make? And again, We Love Arabian Horses is about promoting education and awareness around the world, but any final points you'd like to make, Helen?
I just want to say that everybody that owns an Arabian horse, please enjoy them as much as you can every single day, because I do. I love each and every one on the farm, and that's my passion in life. Thank you very much, Graham.
Okay, thank you, Helen. It's been a pleasure having you.